digitalization strategies, development agencies, or European innovation clusters. So I think it's almost certain that you're very much familiar with the thematic pilots existing within the Vanguard Initiative. But this year, however, Vanguard is expanding its activities with two more pilots, content dedicated pilots, I could say. And today we officially launch one of them, being the Smart Health. The Smart Health pilot. But of course, the idea is that within the next 2 hours, you will learn all the ins and outs concerning this Smart Health pilot. Because what does it mean, Smart Health, within the context of the Vanguard Initiative? And how will you possibly be able to join in? And what is that about that I3 funding, the new funding? So we will learn everything about this. And before you think that you can lean back and just follow whatever is happening, that's not the case. We are going to, really insist in having a very active attitude, and that's why we have a Mentimeter tool popping up once in a while in the program. And of course, you're able to address your comments and questions to the speakers, and then I will make sure and try at least to address those questions to the different speakers. Now, the program consists of three parts, so to say. We will meet stakeholders from inspiring smart health demo cases. We will meet specialists who will talk about the ins and outs, of course, of the Vanguard Initiative in itself, but it's also the goals of the pilot Smart Health. And of course, we will dive into that I3 funding. What does it mean? But to start with, we will meet three lead representatives of Smart Health to talk about the benefits of being a Vanguard member. And for that reason, I start and kindly invite the Regional Minister, Eddy van Heijem, who is chair of the Vanguard Initiative this year. As you might know, East Netherlands holds the presidency for the Vanguard for the year 2021. So, Eddy van Heijem, if you are with us, I would like to give you the virtual platform for a word of welcome.
Yes, I'm with you, Simone. Thank you very much, and good morning to all of you. My name is Eddy van Heijem. I'm the regional minister in Overijssel, the province of Overijssel. You see the provincial flag behind me for economic affairs and also for regional health. Province of Overijssel, as you might know, but probably do not know, is a part of the Eastern Netherlands, which is this year the chair of the Vanguard Initiative. But the eastern part of the Netherlands is also a very strong region, a strong cooperation between industry, universities, healthcare institutions in what we call, like in many other regions, a health valley. Now, I really strongly believe in a cooperation between all these stakeholders in the regions. But I also believe very strongly in the cooperation between regions. And that's why I'm very proud that today we can launch as a Vanguard Initiative, a pilot that focuses very much on smart health. And why this is important to our citizens and to our companies, well, I think it almost needs no explanation. But to address this in short, technology, innovation, smart health really can provide the means for a better healthcare. It improves the lives of our citizens. It shifts the focus toward effective prevention. It improves the quality of treatment. And I really think that as regions that we can make a difference in this respect by developing and applying also key enabling technologies like nanotechnology, like photonics, robotics and digitalization, artificial intelligence. All those key enabling technologies are really a driving force behind innovation in smart health. And we as regions can build and maintain strong regional innovation systems, ecosystems. We can facilitate research and development, help startups and scale-ups, and also help SMEs and industries innovate. And I really think the European Commission prioritized health as one of its strategic value chains. And it launched an approach to protect and strengthen the European industry. You heard of this probably. Protected by Europe, made by Europe. Those are the really concepts of the future. And the COVID pandemic is learning us why this is important, to become more self-sufficient and also less dependent on other parts of the world. And in this respect, the Vanguard Initiative, and you mentioned it already, Simona, we welcomed warmly the European funding program Interregional Innovations Investments, the I3 instrument, which is really important for developing these ecosystems and also for interregional cooperation. Now, in this session today, we present new pilots, demo cases, and we invite everyone to join us. We want new interregional value chains to develop and to emerge, and also discuss with each other the funding topic. And the lead of this pilot is the Flanders region. The southern part of the Netherlands and also the eastern part of the Netherlands are also co-lead in these pilots. And my colleagues, I see the Governor Theo Bovens already in my screen. He will also explain this in more detail to you. But I would like to thank you for allowing me to welcome you, and also to stress the importance of working together as regions. We are really looking forward to working with you on this very important topic of smart health. Thank you very much.
Regional Minister Eddy van Heijm, thank you so very much for your warm word of welcome and for your kind open invitation to join in, to truly cooperate, to collaborate in this field. That is great to hear. And as you said, we will go from the eastern part of the Netherlands to the south, to Maastricht. And we do welcome, good morning to you, Governor Mr. Theo Bovens. Good to see you.
Good morning, Simone.
Good morning.
Morning.
And please tell me, Governor Bovens, the importance of the Vanguard Initiative for the province of Limburg.
Well, it's very important. I was, and that's nice that I'm again a guest in this distinguished company, because I was present at the launching ceremony of Vanguard Initiative in 2013, and if you luckily we have the photos of to prove that. The man with the mustache was signing the first document of Vanguard Initiative. That was me, and I'm still having the same mustache, and I'm still having the same drive as I get to know more and more the importance of the Vanguard Initiative. It's nowadays we started with 10 regions. I was representing then the southeast of the Netherlands, and now we are with 40 regions already in Europe. And that's a tremendous success based on the smart specialization strategies and creating strong European clusters. And I think that has already been proven the last 6 or 7 years. And together with these 40 regions, I think we are a big group of important industrialized regions, and I think united, we are convinced that we can build this innovative Europe that everyone wants. That Europe of the future, by giving concrete, smart responses to the challenges that we all face. Here in Limburg, here in Maastricht, this region, the southern part of the Netherlands, we have conceived a mission-driven economic policy. And in my province, that is concerned, and a very strong spearhead is health on the one hand and energy on the other hand. There are two missions that we are focusing on. And not only the regional ecosystem partners try to achieve these missions, but most definitely also the mission are also to be accomplished in the European context. And in the south of the Netherlands, of course, we are a border region and we are a European region. Moreover, they are also part of smart specialization strategy of the South Netherlands, in which we cooperate in this part of the Netherlands. Therefore, we are not standing alone, I think, in facing challenges and wanting to achieve the innovation goals. Most of European challenges face these same issues. And that's why, for me, still, Wengert is a kind of, you can compare it with a kind of Champions League, I think, in Europe, to build the European state-of-the-art ecosystems for the future. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, well, great, Governor Bovens. Now, and it's also good to know that starting with just a couple back in 2013, that now practically all regions are represented also today during this kickoff meeting for the Smart Health Pilot. But give me some more words maybe to what makes the Vanguard Initiative in itself so special.
Well, what's special is that in every region has its own strengths and strengths, and I think that if you can combine that, and it is an initiative which is bottom-up organized, so everybody can contribute with his own specializations, and we learn from each other. And together, the strength of the regions, if you see the regions and all the countries that are participating, they are all what they call in the Champions League, playing in the Champions League also in their own country. So that's what I think that makes the initiative so strong. And I think everybody contributes to that better Europe. So it's not selfish for instance, for a region to be part of Vanguard Initiative. It's a smart way to do and a smart way to learn from the other parts of Europe.
Yeah, and then that particular pilot we are addressing today, smart health. What does it mean in your region?
Well, in the Limburg area, we have built a Brightlands ecosystem, it's called, and there are 4 campuses that can offer in Europe a set, as an example, in many fields of, especially in the health issue. We have a health campus here in Maastricht. We have a smart service, health is a big data campus in Heerlen. And together that's already can form a heart of this smart health program. And I can imagine that Limburg and the whole of South Netherlands as a whole can play a dominant and driver's role in issues like health and data, prevention and innovation, finding solutions for enigmatic diseases like, for instance, Alzheimer, and coming up with innovative cures and care for the future. One of the topics that you are going to show also today is the regenerative medicine, which is also the part of the toolbox. And later on, you will hear the insights and successes of this cross-border innovation program, RegMed XB, on how they are literally creating future life-saving tissues and to help tackle health issues. For example, creating new kidneys from regenerative tissue engineering, or by tackling diabetes type 1 with immediate societal impact. So that is already going on in the south of the Netherlands. And I think that is in the heart of this, this new smart health initiative. So I think smart health was missing thematic field in Vanguard, but with the smart health South Netherlands is very proud to help this find new solutions for Europe's future. And I'm glad that Limburg is a part of it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so very, very much for your contribution, Mr. Bovert. It was great having you with us here this morning. Thank you once more. And then we will continue, and we will cross borders. We will go to Flanders, and then we will meet the Secretary General, Mr. Johan Hanssens. He is the Secretary General of the Ministry of Economy in Flanders. Mr. Hanssens, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Good morning. Good morning. I would like to give you the virtual floor.
Thank you. So good morning. It's a pleasure as Secretary General to welcome you at the kickoff event of this Vanguard Initiative pilot on smart health. As you know, Flanders initiated in 2018 the Smart Specialization Partnership on Personalized Medicine in close collaboration with Limburg and East Netherlands. And we are very happy that this partnership is now taken up to play in the Premier League of Smart Specialization as one of the 2 new Vanguard Initiative pilots. Flanders has built over the years a strong R&I ecosystem to support the development towards personalized medicine and smart health in a broader context. We believe that the implementation of personalized medicine will have a transformative impact on healthcare systems and society, while contributing to better health and well-being with important opportunities for strong economic value creation. But to grasp these opportunities and take advantage of and build further on the present assets, Flanders committed to establish a spearhead cluster on personalized medicine and a dedicated impulse program to stimulate innovation related to smart health. The spearhead cluster, with the name Health Tech, will be focusing on the convergence of technologies such as biotech, nanotech, and engineering, and was started as a network from 3 complementary sector networks: Flanders Bio, working on life sciences, MedTech Flanders, working on medical devices, and DSP Valley, working on electronics and ICT. This new cluster in Flanders will provide an ecosystem with sufficient expertise to make different smart health demo cases in which Flanders is involved a success. The aim of these collaborative projects is to accelerate the market uptake of personalized health products and services, which will result in a better and more affordable healthcare system across Europe. Like all over Europe, also the Flemish government is making a budget available for its recovery plan. This plan, entitled Flemish Resilience, with a budget of 4.3 billion euros, will focus on strengthening Flemish prosperity and the well-being of the Flemish region post-corona. One of the ambitions in the plan is the strengthening of the Flemish care and welfare system. And an important asset for accelerating the transition in healthcare is access to health-related data. The participation of Belgium and Flanders in the 1 Million Genome Project will contribute to that. Flanders is, as a region, represented in the International Consortium for Personalized Medicine and is coordinating the Sapphire Coordination and Support Action that aims to secure the adoption of personalized medicine in European regions. Flanders has always been supportive on the Vanguard approach and sees it as an ideal instrument to accelerate. The scope of the smart health pilots will be refined in the upcoming months. It builds further on the smart specialization partnership on personalized medicine that was launched in 2018 and consists of 13 regions so far. The pilot will mainly focus on 4 pillars: data, converging technologies, skills of the future, and the 4 Ps, which stands for predictive, participatory, precision, and personalized. These topics are all crucial for the development of personalized medicine in Flanders, and several initiatives are already ongoing. One of the demo cases in the Smart Health pilot, for example, is led by VITO, the Flemish Institute for Technological Research. They are developing a project in collaboration with other regions for the management and sharing of health-related data. VITO wants to expand a data platform to develop new applications through the use of data. The development of this data platform can contribute to the development of the European health data space and the COVID-19 data platform. You will learn more about this at a later stage of the event. With this, I wish you a fruitful kickoff, and I look forward to the new collaboration opportunities and the outcomes of the demo cases. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Secretary General, Mr. Hanssens. And it is so, thank you so much, Mr. Hanssens. It is so great to find and to feel that Mr. Van Heijm, Governor Bovens, and you are so like-minded, so dedicated, and all equal in seeing the great potential of a pilot of smart health within the Vanguard Initiative. So that sets the scene for our next 2 phases in this kickoff program this morning. And I said to you, do not think that you can just lean back and just see whatever is happening. No, we are now jumping. And for that, we will go to our colleague, Jolien Rovers, in a moment, because we are going to ask you some Mentimeter questions. For example, like who you are represented, etc. But there will be, oh, there you go. There are, first of all, you will see the QR. Jolien?
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Simone. So to share, to go to the Menti website, you can type in your mobile phone or your laptop www.menti.com and then enter the code that you can find on the screen. The slide it's also on the top. You can still see the code. So Simone, I go back to you. We see already a lot of people entering. The question is, which European region do you represent? And still a lot of people are entering their answers. I'm going to wait a little more until we have reached 30 participants. Okay, perfect. I'll go to the next slide now. So what type of organization do you represent? Is it a governmental organization, academia? Are you part of a healthcare institution, of industry, a patient organization, or something else? And if you typed other, you can always write in the chat which type of organization that you're a part of. Gonna wait a little bit more because I have the feeling some people are still answering. Okay.
Wow.
Thank you very much. I give the floor back to you, Simone.
Thank you so much, Jolien. This works perfectly and it gives a good idea. And I'm happy because I said to the Governor Bovens, we are with a lot of people here representing all those different partners and regions within the Vanguard Initiative. And the first question, it proved my right. So that is good to know. And of course, we are curious to find out who is others, because it's quite 1/3 apparently does not recognize himself or herself in the given possibilities. So, but we will find out via the chat or later on. And it's a warm welcome to all of you. It's great to have you. Now, well, as said, maybe you are very much familiar with the Vanguard Initiative. Maybe you're a bit a new kid on the block. For anybody, I would say it is interesting to have a short wrap-up in a video explaining some more about the ins and outs and the background of the Vanguard Initiative. Watch this. It takes some time, but a video will come, I'm sure.
European Union in basically driving innovation, entrepreneurship, research and development across our region. We're very much an outward-looking nation and we believe in building on best practice, so it's an opportunity for us to share our best but also learn from other regions and develop that work, to network with people of like minds across the European regions.
Baden-Württemberg is a very innovative region, but even we don't have everything for the SMEs because SMEs are the ones in our focus. And for supporting there and the transformation of industries, which is just happening with the digitization, artificial intelligence, we need to connect them and join forces with all the European regions who are also on this way towards innovation and competitiveness for SMEs. Joining forces will help saving us investments and will make our SMEs stronger.
We think that the Vanguard Initiative is the best framework for collaboration to orientate our smartest specialization strategy based on industrial activity. So I think that Vanguard Initiative offers us a new alliance for positioning Asturias in an EU environment. So offer us EU visibility.
More than anything, it allows us to expand our own innovation system through pilots, matchmaking events and network opportunities. Through these pilots, we can utilize our region's innovation systems and company connections, giving us as a small region with limited innovation system capacity an advantage.
Our region, the southern Netherlands, the southern part of the Netherlands, is a member of the Vanguard Initiative because we strongly believe in open innovation. So the time for introduction of new products is much faster if you share those things, knowledge and facilities with peer companies, not only in the Netherlands, and not only in our part of the Netherlands, but all over Europe. And that's exactly what the Vanguard Initiative is aiming for.
Great, that freshened up your memory maybe, or gave you some of an introduction to the Vanguard Initiative. And of course, during the video, we were able to find out who are the others. And that's mostly development and innovation agencies, but also research centers. So maybe would have given those as a possibility as well to answer, because of course, they are very, very important stakeholders of the Vanguard Initiative and all the pilots done under that umbrella of the Vanguard Initiative. Great. Now, I'm going to introduce to you and present to you three specialists who do know, in fact, everything I could say about the Vanguard Initiative, the pilot Smart Health, and that new fund I3. And those three ladies are Florence Hennin, she is policy expert in the Walloon region. It is Kathleen de Hond, she is policy analyst in the Ministry of Economic Affairs of Flanders. And Farah Brahmi, she's network manager on the Wengert Initiative, and they are all with me. I am delighted. Now, Farah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, there you are. We heard the ministers, Secretary General, the governor talk about their expectation of the Vanguard Initiative, and we saw the introduction film. Now, you as network manager, what, according to you, makes the Vanguard Initiative so special?
Well, I think that the very special thing about this network is really its approach, starting from the ground. So it's very place-based, very focused on the SMEs. So this is something that you've heard in the presentation, in the video. And another interesting thing in the comments, we've seen a lot of organizations who did not recognize themselves in the little survey, which were innovation agencies or clusters. And so this is what we consider intermediary organizations in the Vanguard Initiative, and they are very important players in the activities of the Vanguard. So this is a network which is quite focused on lobbying for relevant funding, but the focus and the goal and aim is always to support the activities of the pilot, support intermediary organizations, support SMEs, and develop innovation ecosystems by supporting them. So I think this is really the most interesting thing about the Vanguard, is the fact that it is trying at all times to be as concrete as possible, keeping in mind the needs and expectations of stakeholders on the ground acting for innovation.
And then why would you say, should a region be member of the Vanguard Initiative?
Well, this is another thing which was mentioned in the video. Some members have highlighted why they like to participate in the Vanguard. Developing an ecosystem nowadays has to happen on a European scale, if not on an international scale. You can't be doing this in isolation. There is a need to share knowledge, share infrastructures. And so the Vanguard, because it's based on the smart specialization strategy of the different member regions, is really helping not only to connect, but also to coordinate the efforts of the membership. Okay. So it's very interesting for public organizations to join in.
Yeah. Now, could you give us some explanation, because the Vanguard Initiative, it is known also about the specific steps model. You have the so-called 4-step model. What does that mean?
You mean the learn, connect,
yes.
Demonstrate, commercialize? Well, due to my role, I would not know it in the details because I'm not working directly on a pilot, so maybe Kathleen will have a better understanding of it. But the idea really is to start from allowing the regions, allowing the stakeholders in the regions to get to know each other, to learn from each other and see where they can connect, where they can exchange either facilities or knowledge, where do they match? Yeah. And from that matching exercise, this is where they start, going into specific demonstration activities, demo cases. So we are at the TRL 5 to 7 in the different pilots of the Vanguard Initiative, and the activities of those demonstration activities are starting from the learn, connect, demonstrate phase, and the aim, of course, is to commercialize.
Yeah. Is there one example, one project or idea realized that you feel that is really the most exciting over the last couple of years? within the Vanguard Initiative?
This is something I would be, like very curious to see concretely. I've been able to read the reports of the different pilots. I've seen that 3D printing has been doing a lot of interesting things. But I must say that due to COVID, I didn't have the chance to go directly on a site and see what exactly pilots are doing. So I'm trying my best to support the regions into coordinating their efforts to support their stakeholders, but I still haven't got the chance to go on the ground and meet the stakeholders and for them to show me what they do. I mean, I'm not a technician. I studied literature, so I try to help them from an organizational perspective. Okay. But when it comes to their research and innovation activities, I would love to meet with them. I'm looking forward to the end of COVID for this.
Oh, yes, that day will come. One day we will live in a post-COVID period of time, and then we will meet again and be able to learn more from one another. Thank you so much for now, Farah, and stay with us within the discussion, because I would like to go to Kathleen. Good morning, Kathleen.
Good morning.
Yes, I do hear you. I'm happy. Now tell us, Kathleen, because we do launch today the Smart Health pilot under the Vanguard Initiative umbrella. But smart health, give us some more explanation, because what do we mean within the context of Wengert with smart health?
Yes, it is an umbrella that covers many different aspects. So we are building on what we started under the Smart Specialization Partnership on personalized medicine. So we identified there, discussing with people and asking, what do you understand under personalized medicine? So we identified actually what we call 4 pillars that are contributing to the development of personalized medicine, and that is data, access to data, all the aspects related to data. Then it is also very technology driven. That is on the technologies like biotechnologies, nanotechnologies, engineering. Those people have also to interact with each other to understand their problems, their issues, and to share ideas. And that is giving a whole lot of new opportunities to collaborate. Then personalized medicine, if you have to understand that is based on having early diagnosis, specific diagnosis, but if you have early and specific diagnosis, you are moving in the field of preventive medicine. And so you have preventive health management. And to do so, you also need, and that is by the way, that is the 3rd pillar is on prevention and participatory medicine, or medicine of the 21st century, if you like. And to understand all those specific domains, you need also to train people with skills to understand the wealth of data, to go to the right interpretations and to come to the same conclusions. And that is actually the 4th pillar that we identified. These are the skills and the training that is needed for that. Yeah. Now, discussing on that, we saw that because of the technology drive in there and all the opportunities that we have nowadays for e-medicine and mobile medicine and all those type of applications, we wanted to broaden the scope under the Vanguard Initiative and to have there and call it then smart health. So to broaden up from where we started.
Whoa, yes. Okay. Now maybe just to have it very concrete, because you gave those 4 pillars, in fact, when you talk about smart health within the Vanguard Initiative context. The last one was the skills, to have the right people on the right spot. But that 3rd pillar, is that the same that the Secretary General was talking about, the P4?
Yes.
Maybe once more, just that we understand you well. Give us some more words on the 4 Ps there.
It is so the 4 Ps stand for participatory, preventive, personalized, and I always skip the 4th. But the idea is that you start with a very early diagnosis of your health condition. You can, based on that information, you can predict in the future where you have a bigger risk to develop a certain condition, a health condition. But if you adapt the right lifestyle, you can in fact very often just postpone the onset or just never develop the disease that you may be at risk for. So that is the fact that it is preventive health management. In fact, the participation is in the fact that people need to take their own health management in their hands. So the crowd and sourcing of the health information here, it becomes more and more important as well.
Great. Now having understood this context of how you define smart health, and isn't the fourth P maybe precision?
Oh, predictive.
Yeah.
Predictive. I thought it was predictive.
I said predictive. But
okay, but never mind. But having heard and understood this context, now from here, you can move to demo cases, can't you?
We hope so, certainly.
Yeah, but give us some. How does this work? When does something become a demo case? What is it?
Well, it is. We see that in many regions are having efforts to develop those programs and in regions because they are closer to citizens very often, and they are putting all efforts into developing the prevention of health and contribute to well-being of people. So and that is just a basic thing, that you contribute to the well-being of your citizens. So for that, what we are doing is trying to identify what is ongoing in the different regions, where are programs that are put forward. But if you combine several programs, you add in fact one and one that makes more than two. So we are building on the strength in different regions, trying to bring them together to create an added value. And if we can, we want to offer those services or whatever it is that we want to develop to the other regions in a broader context.
Now, Kathleen, we are launching this pilot Smart Health today. But if you look a little bit into the future, where would you like to be, let's say, within 1 year from now?
We're on a meeting where we all meet in person, and we have first champion securing a budget, an investment budget with an activity that is rolled over Europe. So that would be the big ambition.
But it's feasible, isn't it?
I'm sure it is. We trust in really the very powerful opportunities that are developed here, talking to the different regions and bringing their assets forward. I think it's a great opportunity to try to create this, to take this opportunity to do this. So also, this is also in the context now of post-COVID, to come out of this. I think we should grasp these opportunities really to move forward in this field. I think there's a huge importance.
Great. Well, we will be talking further on in a moment. I would like to go to Florence, but in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I can imagine that you do hear Farah, you do hear Kathleen, and in a moment Florence, and you have questions, comments, or you want to be sure about something you hear or whatever. I truly hope that you will use the chat possibility, because I can always address those questions to the different speakers. So please take that possibility we offer within the Zoom tool. Florence, policy expert in the Walloon region, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Great, I do hear you as well. Now, Now tell me, the representatives in the opening statements, they were already talking about the I3 funding. So really tell us, what is it?
Yes, it's a new instrument that the Commission has proposed in the framework of the new multi-annual EU budget. It will be funded by the ERDF funds, and it will be a centrally managed tool. So it's totally new and totally inspired by the Vanguard experience.
Okay, but then give me, how important is this then for Vanguard?
Yeah, maybe I can explain a bit the inspiration where it come from, because I said it was inspired by Vanguard, and it's really also the result of the policy influencing activities we have done with the Commission and European institutions since several years. So in the first years of the network, we have been collaborating really hard with the Commission to develop these 4 steps models that Farah explained a bit earlier, and developing this methodology of inter-regional collaboration from the bottom up. And this model was really adopted by the Commission because it's now available for the all European regions through the S3 thematic platforms. So it was already a great achievement, but then with our pilots going through the different phase and going to the connect and demonstration phase, we have identified some strong bottlenecks and missing links in the funding landscape for those kind of collaboration. And so based on the real experience from the pilots on the ground, we have developed some conceptual models for the funding of those kind of collaboration, and discussed hardly with the Commission to propose some solution to facilitate the funding of those kind of projects. And so when it was time to discuss the new funding landscape for the next period, the Commission has came up with this proposal of the component 5 under an Interreg part, which is now the I3 under ERDF. It was part of the negotiation. It was switched to ERDF, but still the instrument is still there with this I3 name. So it stands for Interregional Innovation Investments, really the core of the Vanguard activity.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I must say that maybe as an outsider, you really must stay very attentive, because all those P4, I3, S3, whatever, it really starts mixing and touring around in your head if you do not pay attention. That's why a kickoff launch like this one is very important to refresh in our minds of what are we talking about. But talking further about the I3 new funding, Florence, now tell me, can anyone apply for this, or is it really shaped for like Vanguard Initiative operations? What's the idea?
Yeah, the idea is really to fund collaboration Vanguard-like, I would say. So it's not restricted to Vanguard. It's open to all collaboration projects, but really based on Vanguard experience and Vanguard kind of collaboration. And it will be also divided in 2 strands. The first strand will be dedicated to funding of mature partnerships. So Vanguard will be in good position because we have a portfolio of really good projects, and the portfolio is growing, so it's a good news. So I think Vanguard stakeholders will be well placed to benefit from it. And the second strand will be dedicated to less developed regions and to help them to come in those kind of collaboration and raise up their innovation profile.
Yeah. Florence, I'm wondering, could we say, or am I exaggerating, if I say that maybe this new funding, that I3 funding, is the long expected holy grail?
I would not say that, but we don't know everything about this new tool yet because it's not fully designed at this stage. But it's really a new funding opportunity with some characteristics that are really in line with the Vanguard needs. So it's a good news, I think, for the pilots and the demo case. It's a clear orientation towards interregional collaboration and demonstration activities, and it will be operating across the whole Europe. So it's really a good opportunity. And I think it's a great achievement for Vanguard, because we have been really lobbying for that, and we have succeeded in creating this new opportunity for the pilots. But the budget will still be quite small, so it will be not able to cover all the needs we have, all the projects. And it will still be a challenge also to combine this funding with other kinds of funding, with regional funding. But I think it's really in our hands now to make the most of what is available for us now. And yes, we should take the opportunity to have great project funding with this new tool. Yeah. And maybe a last word, that it's still under design with the Commission. It will still be discussed in the coming weeks and months with an expert group. So we hope you will be able to participate also in that and continue to co-shape the tool and having it really fitted to the needs of the pilots.
Wow, thank you so much, Florence. And Farah, it is great to hear that, if you know that it only started back in 2013, that it's evolving in this way, that new pilots are added, are expanded within the initiative, like the new funding. We really are there to stay, aren't we, within the Vanguard initiatives and actions taking place throughout Europe?
Well, I think that, yeah, definitely here to stay. And there is still a lot of work to be done. I mean, earlier you were asking me about, the technologies or the activities on the ground, which I found the most interesting. And it's true that it's very difficult to name one, because we are really talking about the development of full value chains. And so this is, I think, also why it's a very challenging work that all the pilots are doing. I mean, coming to the point of having a demo case in place means that you're in the position of developing a value chain, which is a huge amount of work. And like Florence is saying, I3 will not be the only funding tool necessary to support the development of value chains. This is really the DNA of our economy, to put value chains into place. So we are really tapping in the most important work to be done. So yeah, it's here to stay.
Yeah, it's here to stay. Florence, you said when I asked you, is this the Holy Grail, the long expected one? You said, well, that's a bit of exaggeration. And then you said as well that budget, of course, is limited, like we can imagine, but that gives immediately within the audience, the discussion, how much money is involved in this new funding?
So it's 500 millions. So it's not so much. But I think it can really kick off the collaboration and be of great value for the SMEs that will be involved in the partnerships. And it can really help in solving the coordination problem, helping the collaboration, and unlocking investment at the regional level, investment from the private companies. So I think it's maybe a small budget, but it really can kick off great achievements.
Yeah, it gives a kickstart to some projects. Now, I hope this is an answer to you, among others, Kaisha Ao, because you all already also asked this question about the funding. Now, Kathleen, people, of course, also do wonder, because you have been very clearly defining the smart health concept, the smart health pilot within the Vanguard context. But people do wonder, have we already pilots which started?
There are a number of projects that started. So we have one is and will be presented later on in the meeting. So there's a data project to develop a personal data management platform that will be presented later. This is a collaboration between Flanders, East Netherlands, and Oulu region in Finland. Then there is a project on preventive program, diabetes on return, that is led by East Netherlands in the context of the Top Fit program. And that is also next to East Netherlands. It's also with Flanders, Oulu and Trento, if I'm right. There have been, we also, and that will be presented later as well, that was developed not in the context of smart specialization, but actually it would fit very well as this regenerative medicines cross-border, RegMed XB. So in this partnership, it is an actual partnership already between the Netherlands. It started in the Netherlands and Flanders joined the initiative. So we are looking forward how to integrate this under Vanguard. We would be very happy with that. That would fit under one of our pillars because it clearly brings the interaction convergence of technologies together here, and that was one of the important drivers that we saw. We do have difficulties to define like what are those skills of the future. So I think this is a call for people who want to set up demo cases in that field and would be very welcome to do so.
Okay, that was the fourth pillar, yes. And the projects you were just mentioning, we will have representatives from each of them to give us more details, ins and outs from their projects. Now, Kathleen, something else, because we know Vanguard Initiative from the existing thematic pilots, of course. There are 5 themes. Huh? Now, let's put it differently. Is there a link between this new added content dedicated pilot, Smart Health, towards the already existing within Vanguard Initiative?
Yes, there is. So there are options, so different options, and we would have to go into the details of it. But in the nano pilots, there's options because they do have a program that is linked to medtech and health, and so we think if there are options there that we can proceed further. But also, for instance, in 3D printing, there was a project on manufacturing for in healthcare sector, and I think, of course, it would be logic to see if we can bring things together there. So that are at least 2 possibilities. There's also the new pilot that started, artificial intelligence. I'm not sure if their focus now would be in the health sector, but artificial intelligence in any case is a very important technology to proceed here in to understanding and developing new approaches in healthcare.
Great, thank you so much. Florence, I have another question because yes, talking about funding, talking about money, of course, it provokes questions, and I think Jeff Hooijbergs very much, and all the others who are very active in the chat and sending us questions and comments, because you gave us some words, but we need apparently a little bit more explanation of what kind of activities can be funded in the I3 new funding. So give us some more explanations. He says like infrastructure or other. What types of activities, Florence?
Yes, it's not yet fully defined by the Commission because we still wait for the work program and all the details. But the idea is to finance acceleration of market uptake of innovation by piloting activities, demonstration, collaboration between innovation infrastructures. So it will not cover infrastructure as such because it's too big pot of money, but more the coordination and the demonstration activities in companies. But it will be defined more precisely in the coming weeks.
Okay, to be followed. Yes, to be continued, to be followed. So, Jeff, take care that you are well informed by other means. Yeah. Okay, then we have a question to, I don't know who would like to respond on this one, from Miguel de Coimbra. He asks, what is your vision for the role of academia in Vanguard, also in this context of maybe this new pilot, Smart Health? Maybe Farah first?
Well, I think that the role of academia definitely depends on the needs when you're developing the value chain. So academia has its place in the Vanguard pilots, depending on what are the activities taking place on the ground. So perhaps Kathleen wants to comment on that.
Kathleen?
I can just confirm that. So every value chain starts with basic research, in fact. But of course, you need to, here in the Vanguard, we want to move further, bring new applications to the market. So we are in a more advanced field, but everything is building on the earlier work. And I know that in academia, there are programs in tech transfer that are also aiming to do the similar things. So we are open to capture those things and bring it in the context. And then here you can work in this context, you can work with companies or developing tools for others to be shared. So I think we will not have projects that will do the basic research, but we will use the basic research to bring it further.
Great. Well, thank you so very much. And dear ladies, gentlemen, please continue asking questions and comments, because I can go back to the ladies we have with us here at this very moment. But for now, I would like to thank Kathleen, Farah, and Florence for your contribution. And I think Kathleen made it very clear. Again, like the representatives in the opening, it's a very open and warm invitation to join in. And certainly when it comes to those skills, and then that is very much appreciated and even needed within the pilot of the Smart Health. Jolien, Rolf, are you there? Because I would like to go back and see if there's some more Mentimeter questions.
Yes, perfect. I'll share my screen again. Yep. So you can still go to www.menti.com and use the code that you can see on the top of your screen. The question is, which smart health topics are of interest for your region? Data, cell and gene technology, e-health, lab on chip, AI for health, genomics medicine, prevention and personal, skills of the future, or something else. And if you choose something else, then please again write in the chat what you would like to see covered as well. I see a lot of different topics. Data is popping out together with prevention and personal, but also e-health and AI for health are among the more popular ones. We have two persons that answered others, so don't hesitate to let us know what you would like to see. I'm gonna wait for two more answers and then I'm gonna go back to you, Simone. If there are more people. Okay, one more. Okay, perfect. I'll give the floor back to you, Simone.
Tools to help to make the decision making I saw on the chat. Maybe that was one of the others, but it's nice. It's divided very equally, it seems. And I think, and that makes us and start with the third and last part of this virtual meeting in the kickoff of the launch of the Smart Health Pilot. Yes, it does touch upon very much of the three upcoming demo cases presented and already mentioned by Kathleen earlier. I'm going to present you, I'm going to introduce to you the representative of those three demo cases, and it's great to start with the RegMed XB program. And to give you a short introduction to this demo case, we would like to propose to you the following video. Please watch this. RegMed XB?
Binnen RegMed XB is om binnen 5 jaar een concrete oplossing voor mensen met diabetes type 1 te realiseren. RegMed XB is een groot nieuw samenwerkingsverband op het gebied van regeneratieve geneeskunde. Daarin investeert het Diabetesfonds samen met de stichting DON in onderzoek bij kennisinstellingen, waarin wordt samengewerkt met bedrijven zoals Fujifilm. En die samenwerking wordt geïnitieerd mede door de topsector Life Sciences and Health.
RegMed XB staat voor Regenerative Medicine Crossing Borders. Het is in 2016 gelanceerd en biedt Fujifilm de kans om samen te werken met verschillende kennisinstellingen. Fujifilm zelf is heel erg sterk op het gebied van materiaalonderzoek. Gedurende de jaren hebben we een biomateriaal ontwikkeld wat afgeleid is van menselijk collageen. En dat materiaal is erg geschikt voor regenerative medicine toepassingen.
Uiteindelijk is het de bedoeling op het gebied van diabetes om binnen het programma RegMed XB een nieuwe lichaams-eigen alvleesklier te kweken. Mensen met diabetes type 1 zijn dagelijks bezig met hun ziekte. Dat betekent dat ze moeten prikken en insuline moeten spuiten. De nieuwe alvleesklier gaat die functie helemaal overnemen, waardoor het leven weer een stuk prettiger wordt.
Fujifilm heeft dus een biomateriaal ontwikkeld voor celtherapie toepassingen. De medische kennis echter die de kennisinstellingen inbrengen, zullen ertoe leiden dat we veel eerder kunnen zorgen voor de oplossingen voor de patiënten.
De samenwerking binnen RegMed XB heeft verschillende meerwaardes. Maatschappelijk staat buiten kijf. Een concrete oplossing voor mensen met diabetes type 1. Maar natuurlijk is die maatschappelijke meerwaarde alleen maar mogelijk als er ook economische meerwaarde is.
De grootste voordeel van RegMed XB is de samenwerking met de verschillende partners. Ieder partner heeft zijn eigen expertise en uiteindelijk zullen de verschillende expertises complementair met elkaar zijn en uiteindelijk leiden tot een oplossing voor diabetes.
Onderzoekers kunnen heel goed onderzoek doen. Wij als fondsen weten heel erg goed wat de behoefte is bij de patiënten. En die bedrijven zijn daarbij een cruciale factor om die kennis uiteindelijk ook echt bij de patiënt te krijgen. Ieder neemt zijn eigen specifieke kennis en ervaring mee en door die te combineren concrete oplossingen gaan bieden voor mensen met diabetes type 1.
Vooruitkijkend is voor mij het grootste belang is dat we in ieder geval de projecten diabetes en osteoartritis tot een goed einde brengen. Dat wil zeggen dat we een therapie klaar hebben voor het testen in de mensen. En parallel daaraan verwacht ik meerdere initiatieven, dus meerdere projectvoorstellen waarin als Fujifilm kan deelnemen.
Als we verder naar de toekomst kijken, dan zien we dat we met z'n allen ouder worden, maar dat willen we op een vitale manier doen. Dat kun je doen door pilletjes te nemen en af en toe wat te repareren, maar het liefste wil je dat weer met lichaams-eigen nieuwe onderdelen. Dus wat kapot is in je lichaam, weer vervangen door lichaams-eigen materiaal. Daar is regeneratieve geneeskunde heel erg belangrijk voor in de toekomst.
Great. I don't know what happened with you at the end. The audio went a little bit down, but I think it was very clear and we were able to follow about this project. In the meantime, during this movie, there was a very interesting question coming in from Yuka Niranen. Thank you so much, Yuka. You were asking, we have a group of potentially five health technology companies, and we're looking to get involved in a real-life testing project. What are the best steps to going forward within maybe that smart health pilot? Well, Kathleen, did you hear the question? Because I'm going to collect the answer later on. But first, I would like to dive more into those demo cases presented here today, because for that we have, among others, we have Professor Frank Luiten. He is the medical scientific director of the RegMed XB, where we just saw the video of. I hope you are with me already. Frank Luiten, yes, there you are. And maybe later on we will add to this the other representatives, Mark Rinkes and also Chef Hooijbergs. But maybe first, Frank, if we can talk a bit more about this very, very hopeful and encouraging project you are leading also as a medical scientific director. Now tell us first, what happened last week? A lot of money came your way from the Grow Fund, didn't it? From the Netherlands. Tell us.
Yeah, that was fantastic news, huh? We were looking to get what we call substantial funding to develop manufacturing methodologies and industrialization of the sector. And by bringing in or acquiring about 56 million euro, we at least have a nice starting platform to transfer what I call proof of principle developments and experiments in small animals to real life human-sized implants, organs, and tissues to replace or restore their function. So this is great news. Essentially, we hope to be able to build a pilot fabric that is going to make, probably I see within 5 years, the first real living tissues and organs for restoration of function.
Yeah. Now tell us, Frank, how long have you been working now on this project? Where and what time was its origin?
Well, RegMedXB as a platform is only a couple of years old. So it's not like this is a long, we had a first wave somewhere between 2017, 2019, and then a second wave started. So it is a relatively recent phenomenon, a recent platform, but precisely driven by the fact that both Clemens van Blitterswijk in the Netherlands and myself in Flanders, we have been busy in this field for a number of years, in fact, almost more than 2 decades now. And we fully realized that the sector needs further public-private entrepreneurships to develop into a real industrial activity. So far, it is still small, it is scattered, and therefore we need to make efforts to transfer this into the next phase of industrialization. And that's what RegMedXB is aiming for.
Yeah. Now, could you say that having built this platform over the last couple of years, you have the right partners in place?
Well, for sure, you never have all the right partners in place, but I think we have many players being part of the consortium. We have obviously the public domain, and we have funding from both the Flemish government and the Dutch government. We have the patients on board that are co-funding some of these activities and are important partners in feedback on many aspects. I think it's one of the unique things here. We have a number of companies on board, most of them being small, a few ones like the Fugees being bigger, and that exercise is evolving now. How do you create real partnerships between academia, the last partner, and the companies? And that is a challenge, because they are two different worlds with different goals. So it is actually the task of the RegMedXB platform, and one of my big ambitions, to make sure that we bridge the gap between industry and academia. Both need to adapt to this real new world, and we are writing actually some new rules and regulations out here in order that these partnerships are truly converging towards, I would say, paradigm shifts, and not just little big things here.
Now, talking about the Wengert Initiative, the Smart Health Pilot, Frank, with this, I can add also a question coming in from Teresa Gaspar. Thank you so much, Teresa. She's wondering, this project so far, has it had anything to do with the Horizon 2020 or Vanguard Initiative in itself? And how would you relate what you're doing now to this new pilot, Smart Health?
Well, to be honest, I didn't know much about the Vanguard Initiative. Okay. But I was well informed recently by a few people, including Dirk Plees also. And as Kathleen pointed out, in fact, yes, we would fit very well as a platform within the Vanguard Initiative and the goals of this initiative. We are bringing together and converging a number of new enabling technologies in order to move into what we call the industrial scene. Secondly, we are working towards what I call high quality care with cost-effective and affordable treatments for patients in the European community. Thirdly, we need, in order to do so, we need to understand much better also the human model. Sorry to say, being the patient also. And for that, we need artificial intelligence and data generation, so that we don't have to test everything in detail in our animal models, but through the understanding of the human model, gathered through artificial intelligence data and data collection, we can much better become predictive in the outcomes that we will have in our patients. So I see this is the exciting part I had this morning, that I said all these aspects that are mentioned here is part of the system, the ecosystem that RegMedXB is trying also to create at this level and at this point in order to achieve, I would say, real paradigm shift in healthcare, not only patient care, but in healthcare. Healthy aging is very high on the list, and I see some of us have already gray hairs. So we are certainly motivated to make sure that healthy aging is one of the key issues here. It doesn't need to be all patients, because we have to be careful. We don't want to medicalize everything here, but healthy aging will or involves support of organ function recovery, organ function replacements. Too many people lose an incredible quality of life because one organ is failing. A nice example is kidney failures, hemodialysis. It really bites into the quality of life. If we could prevent this or postpone this from a number of years, that would be an enormous paradigm shift in the field.
Thank you so very much, Frank Luijten, for giving us some more explanation about your exciting project. And yes, if you still were wondering how concrete can it be, well, this is what it can be when it comes to the Smart Health pilot within, it could be a wonderful demo case within the pilot. Thank you so far for now.
I would like to have one more comment here, which I think is important. One of the challenges that we have ahead of us is we would like to put together dream teams going for specific goals here. And in order to put together dream teams, you need public-private associations, you need to go across regions, and you need to have a funding mechanism that allows you to do so. And that is something, why can't we put together in Europe dream teams focusing around specific topics that really with a red line towards the outcome and coordinate that in a fashion that we will deliver these goods if we can put together these dream teams. And that is what I'm trying to plead for, indeed, possibly also like an I3 funding, like Horizon to some extent is allowing to do so, but that's more in the earlier phases of, I would say, research and early development. The I3 funds, we need to be able to deliver it to the market, and let us put together the dream teams to reach that goal. That is really the goal that I have in mind here.
Thank you so very much. Leader of a dream team. I see this already. Great, Frank. Great. Kathleen, we will talk about this later as well. Dream team. What is that kind of a aspect? I would like to go and jump to Chef Hooijbergs, if he's there with us. Hi, Chef. Good morning. You are head of data science of the team of the Flemish Institute for Technical Research, VITO. Yes, we are going to talk about how to increase the confidence of citizens and patients in data-driven research and development, ownership of data by citizens and so forth. Please explain us some more about your exciting project.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for the introduction, Simone. Well, the idea started within the smart specialization context, personalized medicine, where together with 3 regions, which is Flanders, the East Netherlands, and the Oulu region in Finland, we started to think about how to come up with a new ecosystem when it comes down to data. I prepared a few slides. I don't know whether it is possible to show one of these slides.
For sure.
Okay. In the meantime, I can say that today it was mentioned already a few times that, yeah, maybe you can go to the 3rd slide. That's the central slide. Yeah, thank you. It was today already mentioned a few times that when we're talking about this Vanguard Initiative about smart health, that the combination of data and the P4 is crucial. The P4 contains the participatory and a personalized aspect of smart health. And when you want to tap into this trend, into this societal transition, you also need to come up with data solutions to make this possible. And that is what we are trying to do here. So in this picture, there are a few ingredients that we are building and that we believe are crucial, and not only we, I think Europe believes is crucial to make this transition happening. And one of the ingredients is the central green circle you see here, which depicts the fact that we believe that every citizen should be possible to manage his own health data. It's a crucial aspect. If you want to make it participatory and personalized, I think there is no other way than making this happen. If you do this, then it is also very crucial that you can somehow tap into a collective data set. That means that not only this green central circle here is crucial, but also the blue circle around it, which we call the governance circle. We believe that it is very important that there is a collective of citizens being able to manage their collective data. That's, of course, a huge step that we need to take, but it is also creating a huge opportunity. And to make this happen, we are focusing our efforts on a set of principles, which we call the effective principles for caring technology. That's what you see in the left-hand side of the picture, our values. So we have a very clear set of effectiveness principles defined on which we base our activities. So these are the two very crucial ingredients. And these ingredients are aimed towards creating an ecosystem. And those are the arrows you see around these circles. And of course, on the left-hand side, one of the crucial ingredients is that you should make it possible that when data is created by a citizen or based on the body of a citizen, that this data should be channeled into this data set and into this data safe where citizens can manage their data. And then on the right-hand side, you see the P4 aspect of the story. You see innovation and you see personalized products and services. When you're talking about innovation, it is very crucial that the true consent is managed in a very good way. The true consent of the citizens allowing to use their data for research and innovation. When you do this in a collective way, you will create an opportunity that cannot be created in any other way. So that's a very crucial thing. And on the bottom right, where you see personalized products and services, the central idea here is, and that's also very crucial for the ecosystem, is that you separate data and products and services. That means that the data is managed by the citizens and not by the actors delivering the personalized products and services. This creates what we call a level playing field, where everybody has access to the data in the same way, avoiding monopolies and avoiding lock-in situations. That is the ecosystem that we are creating together with different regions and together with a whole lot of stakeholders. And that brings me to the next slide, where I would like to invite others who are interested to join us. I have two ways of doing this. The first one is at the level of use cases. The different regions that I mentioned, East Netherlands and Finland, they're also building use cases. And it's very crucial to learn from each other, to learn what can be transferred from one region to the other without any effort, and to learn where the differences are. So that is very crucial that we work together with different regions to learn from each other based on these use cases. On the other hand, we are trying to build a uniform platform using the same technology, and that is where interoperability is very crucial. We are currently working with a solid technology. We can talk about this later, or we can give you more information to anybody who wants to learn about it. The second point that I want to mention is that we are currently developing a governance model and a business model for the platform, which is of course very crucial. The idea is that we should have this operational within 2 years. And we are now collecting a lot of information from different stakeholders. We are getting support from the technical assistance facility, for instance, within the smart specialization context. And we are organizing in June a hackathon. So anybody who is interested in value change with this kind of data is invited to join here. That's where I want to end my story.
Wow. Chef Hooijbergs, what a wonderful presentation. And again, I do hear the invitation to join in, to come wherever people now are following you and meeting you in this particular way, that they know what you are heading for. So just a final question for you, Jeff. How would you reflect on this smart health pilot within the context of the Vanguard Initiative? Where do you see your role?
My role, you mean as an institute, or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we see our role in making this ecosystem happening. And when we talk about the Vanguard Initiative and also about the I3 initiative that we learned about today, I think that there is a big role to create this ecosystem and to tap into different use cases that can be combined on a same data platform. I think that is where the Vanguard Initiative will be very crucial.
Yeah.
I think when you talk about this topic, that it is very clear that Europe is taking a very special role within the globe because we have a different culture than the American or the Asian culture. And what we are talking about today is something that taps into the culture, the core of what Europe is. So I believe that this can only happen when we do this with joint forces.
Great. No, that is a very nice added comment on this meeting so far, to emphasize on the European way of working and the European style compared to the rest of the world. So given it in a global perspective and the strengths we have once we join our forces. Well, thank you so very much, Jeff, for your contribution, and I'm sure that people will be able to find you and to take your open invitation, I'm sure. Final demo case we have for today is what happens if you join forces with an impressive number of partners, if you're all striving for a new concept for a healthy life. And that's why we will be heading for Mark Rinkes. He is the program coordinator and member of the executive board of TopFit. But before we meet him, hello, Mark, I do see you already. We have a nice movie. So that explains a lot of what you're doing. Let's see the movie first.
We worden ons er meer en meer van bewust dat onze gezondheid wordt beïnvloed door leefstijl en voeding. Ook de gezondheidszorg biedt steeds meer mogelijkheden om gezondheidsproblemen te voorkomen en ziektelast te verminderen. Toch kunnen we nog veel meer doen. Zou het niet mooi zijn als iedereen in zijn of haar leven 2 gezonde jaren erbij zou krijgen? Dat is het doel van TopFit. Een innovatieprogramma met de ambitie om ziekte steeds 1 stap voor te blijven. Preventieve gezondheidszorg is daarbij de sleutel. Preventie is meer dan het voorkomen van ziekte. Het gaat ook over vroegtijdige signalering en diagnose, persoonsgerichte behandelingen. En het gaat over het verbeteren van de kwaliteit van leven van mensen met een aandoening. TopFit bundelt de krachten vanuit 3 expertisegebieden om de ambitie van TopFit via preventie te bereiken: techniek, gezondheidszorg en voeding. De eerste stap is het formeren van een open innovatieconsortium in Oost-Nederland. Van kennisinstellingen, ziekenhuizen, burger- en patiëntenorganisaties, het bedrijfsleven en regionale overheden. De partijen in het TopFit consortium werken samen aan innovatieve oplossingen voor het voorkomen van ziektes, vroege diagnostiek, gerichte interventies en zelfmanagement bij ziekte. TopFit organiseert en verbindt relevante citizen labs en proeftuinen in Oost-Nederland. Hierin komen innovaties tot stand in samenwerking met burgers, patiënten, bedrijven en zorgprofessionals. Wilt u meewerken aan de ambitie van TopFit? Sluit u zich dan aan bij het consortium. Dan werken we samen aan 2 jaar langer gezond leven voor iedereen.
Wow, Mark, good morning. 2 more healthy years for all of us. That's a promise.
Yeah, this is challenging. This is a challenge. And we already working for that now for 2 years. It was founded by 4 universities in the east of the Netherlands, and now we're in a fast and rapid way we are building our network. and of extending our network, I have to say, and immediately also initiating a lot of projects, even across Europe. So maybe it's also nice to see my slides. That is very helpful in explaining what I'm all talking about. And I think I can skip the first two already, and I want to go to the mission program. But if you want to ask something, Simone, you are...
I will, but I first have you. I will listen carefully, like we all do, Mike.
Okay. Yeah, okay, this is where we are going into personalized solutions. May I have another slide, please? These are the 3 steps that are already mentioned in the introduction, but it is very nice to see how we are trying to connect the domains tech, health, and behavior, because behavior is new. In the video was talked about food, but ongoing, it was better to focus on behavior in this kind, and how are we our strategy is to connect these 3 domains by stimulating programs and collaborations according to strategic roadmaps, supporting consortia creation, attracting funding, and also European funding, sharing best practices, and really to realize one big learning community in the east of the Netherlands, in which 8 to 10 smaller communities we are focused on prevention are working very closely together, and by showcasing the results. So may I have another slide, please? This is a very complex dia, but it sees on the left, you see in the areas we want to combine. In the right, you see where we want to gain impact. At the bottom, you see the quadruple helix partners, and then you see in the gray areas and what we are heading for more disease indicated areas: diabetes, cardiovascular, movement disorders, and renal disorders. But we have one big broad base program, prevention, and I want to continue on that. So may I have another slide, please? So in detail, 3 of the 5 are more in detail here, and I want to focus on the base program prevention, in which we are working to an action learning network in regional communities, and we are very focusing on citizen science, and that we're all making steps with European partners. Also, you were talking earlier over the diabetes on return, and they already made the last 2 years important steps in connecting regions, in finding partners Europe-wide, and also to gain some, to go for some applications, some grants, but they didn't mention to reward them already, but they're working on that. So may I have the next slide, please? This is more the focus of our base program prevention. So we're focusing on low economic status, demand-driven innovation cycles, build the chain between hospital and there where the citizens is in its environment, behind the front door, we call that. This is the crossover between medical and social domain with the quadruple helix partners. And then what are new business opportunities? Building virtual hospitals instead of 715 beds. You are looking to a region and looking at every citizen's bed. An example, a small 500,000 beds. You try to come to the front door and be behind the front door crowd of hospitals, and that mobilize some opportunities as a digital health service providers, in which we really want to make the bridge between health and social domain. And also we want to look at some particularly new things as hydrogen car park for care providers, but that will be in a later stage. So may I have another slide, please? This is in where we also see the slide already mentioned before, but now divided in 3 levels: macro level, meso level, and micro level. And this is actually working already. We are trying to develop lifestyle interventions in the neighborhood. So we're working at micro level in neighborhoods, inventing new interventions, lifestyle interventions. More at the meso level, we are creating communities of care, connecting rural and urban regions. And at the macro level, we are working together in East the Netherlands, 2 provinces, 1 ecosystem, and it's all combined together. So may I have another slide? What already was implemented, and now it goes very fast, but I will keep up. The D-Rural project was rewarded last summer. In that one, it was an Horizon 2020 project in which we are working, in example, with Extremadura and also 5 other regions and demonstration regions in which we try to implement a digital service provider, or at least the setup for it, and in 4 years, in which new opportunities, new services in the area of medication and social domain will be developed. We're also working in the in-demand Horizon 2020 project. It's also with 13 European regions, and we try in that case we try to implement a regional innovation pathway. So that is already what we were doing, and now we are looking for new partners on the macro and meso level. And we also we already have last week and weeks before some workshops in looking for partners European wide, and there we're looking for is it possible to make the opportunity of the E3? Then we have to look for more than 5 regions as a consortium. And the next button, also at the meso level, this is the next slide. Also at the meso level, we are looking for partners to develop more within city regions, 2 or 3 city regions, to develop an example, in this case, the digital service provider who are working on that case. And at the higher level, macro level, we are looking at several, also Jeff mentioned that, use cases we can work on and can speed up the acceleration from meso level to move to macro level, but even interregional in Europe. So this is where we are really working on at the moment. So Simone, I give it back to the floor. Give back to you.
Well, thank you so very much. You should have warned us, Mark, because this was kind of a pressure cooker presentation that you gave us the whole insight. But thank you so very much for that. And I have wanted you to ask, of course, the context and the relationship towards the Smart Health pilot within Vanguard Initiative, but you did it already in your presentation. So what I would like to do is to thank you very much, Mark, as well as Chef Hooibergs, as Frank Luiten, for giving your very inspirational contribution to this kickoff launch meeting today, because it was like Kathleen said, and also Farah, it is concrete, and it becomes concrete once you learn more about the demo cases, what's already happening, what is already existing when it comes to ecosystems striving for the same goals. So thank you very much for all that. I would like to go for the last time today to Jolien, because we have one very important final Mentimeter question, because we would like to know what your keywords are. When you think, just take a couple of seconds of thinking time, Jolien, I would say that when it comes to smart health in your particular region, and the what would be the interest of implementation in your region? Jolien.
Thank you, Simone. Indeed, I shared the screen. You can still use the same code. And please give us 3 keywords on smart health that are of interest for the implementation in your region. People are still thinking.
Maybe a difficult question.
I think so.
Or it doesn't work, which also can be a possibility, of course. That there is not a... Okay, there are people saying... Oh, apparently it doesn't work. Oh, that is a pity, because I know that the organization would have been very, very curious to find out what maybe new words you would have added into this discussion and into this Smart Health pilot. Because, of course, you can think of all kinds of things, but it can vary very much when you reflect it to the different European regions. And no, it doesn't work. Apparently, it won't work. So we are going to skip it. Yeah, that's what it is. Maybe just then one very, very brief question for Frank, if he is still available and able to respond. Just a very quick one, because Alenka, she asks, are you also considering rejuvenation processes? Just shortly.
Yeah. I already answered that question to her.
You already
answered her? Yeah, I answered her online.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
But I can essentially say yes. We are exploring what we call functional recovery setup specifically for the heart in using in vivo perfusion bioreactor systems.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Frank. And maybe a good idea that as it doesn't work, our last Mentimeter question, and we were so interested in your keywords when it comes to smart health in your particular region, you can also, if you are so kind to do so, you can hand over these words via the chat, and the organization still is better informed than without a Mentimeter question at all. Kathleen, are you still with us? Because we have some open questions and I would like to finalize this kickoff launch with you, if you do agree. Kathleen Dons, are you
happy to try and answer?
Hello, hello. I do hear you. I see Mark, but I will see Kathleen in a moment, I would say. I guess she will be. You are there.
Yeah.
Kathleen? Yes, there you are. Do you remember that one question I asked you earlier? Because that was given that there were 5 health technical companies looking to get involved in building a real life testing platform. Now, that's the kind of question you can expect also after this kickoff launch. So what would you say to them?
Yeah, it's an open invitation to contact us. So we will give the contacts at the end of the meeting, but also I would like to invite regions that are interested to join us, to contact us and indicate us. Next week, Friday afternoon, we have a first Vanguard Initiative meeting. So with the consortium, and we will start then to develop the demo cases further, or to identify new paths to work on.
Okay, but now explain some more then. How, can everybody join this meeting, or how does this work?
At this instance, so the idea, it are regions that have to join. The regions have to commit in the activities. We cannot, it are not individual companies or cluster organizations. It has to go through the regions. So you should first also contact your region. So then there's a whole thing. Not all regions are Vanguard Initiative regions, but there is an option to join, to participate in the beginning, in the first year, to as an observer, or not a true Vanguard Initiative region. When afterwards, it's expected after 1 year, it is expected that you decide whether or not to join the Vanguard Initiative. So also next week, we want to explain on the rules for participation and so on, give all the details there. I don't think we should do this now. This will lead us too far and lead to too many other questions. This is not the purpose here.
No. That will be there for next week. And if people do want to have further information to whom they can address themselves to for more contact and details, then they can go to the site, I assume?
They can find our contacts on the website of Vanguard Initiative, Smart Health Pilot, and you will see the contacts of myself, of Caroline de Bruin from East Netherlands, Dirk Wees from Limburg, Netherlands.
Great. And then they can ask all questions they have. Then finally, do you remember Frank? He came up with that plea for a dream team. What did you think when you heard him talking?
I hire him. He's the best guy to make to
How do you
advertise
hear
for
that?
us.
You are hired. Yeah.
That's what we want to hear. That's also our aim. We want to build dream teams. Not only regenerative medicine, we hope to have the different aspects addressed and to create new opportunities to take this further.
Wonderful. Okay, Kathleen, did we do what we had to do during this kickoff launch of the Smart Health pilot within the Vanguard Initiative?
I'm very happy. So also with the messages I got, especially with the call from Frank to set up dream teams, it's an important message, and it shows also the opportunities that are there if we just create those links and take this further. So it can happen, but it takes a commitment. It takes also trust, building trust between partners. And then, of course, to go over this this path where you go to a real running project, that it takes a lot of time and a lot of talk.
Yes. Thank you so very much. And with you, Kathleen, I do thank all speakers of this morning's kickoff launch, but even more, I do thank you wherever you are across Europe, the Vanguard regions or not yet Vanguard regions. Welcome. It was great that you were here with us today. I thank you for your interest. I thank you for your cooperation within the Mentimeter questions. And for sure, we will meet once more, hopefully post-COVID, and then that will be in person. But for now, I do wish you a wonderful day and all the best of luck with this new pilot, Smart Health within the Wengert Initiative. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks to you too, Simone. It was a very nice job you did there. Thank you.
Thank you.